Good day, Black Knight scholars. Mr. Deegan here in the D226 studios. D for Deegan. It's Unit 5, Lesson 1, the 5-in-1 VidNotes. Let's do our learning target. Please write this down on your VidNotes packet now. I will understand the causes, events, and outcomes of the French Revolution. These are two of the main characters of our story, Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette. And this is the slogan of protest: liberty, equality, fraternity, or death. The French protesters were protesting against these monarchs. Here we go. First of all, where is France? Here is a map of Europe. Here is Britain in Northern Europe. Where is France? Look at your sheet and let's label it now. There it is, just south of Britain, northeast of Spain, west of Germany. It's France. Summary, part 1, fill in the blanks. The ideas of the Enlightenment and French participation in the American Revolution influenced the French people to view their government in new ways. The Enlightenment, of course, Locke and Rousseau were two thinkers, and the French soldiers in America, they get a taste of what revolution is like. Summary part 2, fill in the blanks here. French citizens overthrew the absolute monarchy and established a new government. And here is the execution of the king, Louis XVI. There's his head. We're going to talk about what torture device was used to cut off his head. When is the French Revolution? Let's talk dates. It started in 1789 and the French Revolution ended in 1799. Cause number 1 of the French Revolution. It was the influence of Enlightenment ideas. Please write down this bullet point in your notes. And there were two Enlightenment thinkers that we have studied. It's John Locke. Lockdown. Natural rights, life, liberty, and property, said Locke, and the social contract of Rousseau. The government and the people need to have an agreement. These ideas caused the French Revolution. Cause number 2, the influence of the American Revolution. Please put this down in your bullet point. The American Revolution ends in 1783, and French troops sail to America to help fight. Here's a painting of George Washington, and here's a painting of Lafayette. He was a French general who became very friendly with the founding fathers. And here he is at the home of George Washington, Mount Vernon, Virginia. The events of the French Revolution. In 1789, French citizens stormed, meaning they rushed, the Bastille prison in Paris. And this castle-like structure here is the Bastille. Angry mob, this is the angry mob, was looking for gunpowder to use in their weapons. This symbolized the end of the existing government in France, and the storming of the Bastille was the start, the official start of the French Revolution. More detail of event number 1. Who rushed the Bastille prison? Who were these people? Well, they were not the first estate, meaning the clergy, church people. They were not the second estate, meaning the rich nobles. They owned most of the land in France. Instead, these people were a member of the third estate. They were the middle class, they were peasants, they were city workers, and they were 97% of the people in the country, but they only owned 65% of the land. That is not fair, and that's why they protest using violence. Who led the existing government that was overthrown? These two kings and queens, King Louis XVI and Queen Marie Antoinette. They really didn't care much about the people. So what happened to this couple? Both had their heads chopped off by the guillotine, the blade of the guillotine. What is the guillotine? We'll talk about that. Event number 2 of the French Revolution, number 2, was the reign. Reign means time period. It's not a kind of weather. Reign, in this case, means time period of terror. When was the Reign of Terror? 1793 to 1794. What was the purpose? to punish citizens still loyal to the king and queen. Why did the Reign of Terror end? Innocent people were being accused and guillotined, and the very people who were protesting were the ones killing other protesters. That's not good. The Reign of Terror had a leader. Here he was, Maximilien Robespierre. Maximilien Robespierre. He said the king must die so that the country can live. He thought an absolute monarchy was not the best way to govern. And his speeches led to a time of mass execution. Many people were guillotined in the Reign of Terror. What was the first outcome of the French Revolution? It was the end of the absolute monarchy of Louis, the XVI 16th. Here's his head. Why was this man so unpopular? Well, first, he led France into bankruptcy. And number two, he did little about a famine that affected the Third Estate, which, remember, is 97% of the people. 97% of the people are starving, they're bankrupt, they're angry at this leader for not listening to them. Outcome number two of the French Revolution, this man, the rise of the young military leader named Napoleon Bonaparte. And here he is on his white horse leading the people. How did NB, Napoleon Bonaparte, contribute to the French Revolution? He was a general of the army that opposed the French monarchy. He was on the side of the Third Estate. The legacy of the French Revolution. What is legacy? Well, its definition is something passed down from a previous generation. What will your legacy be in your family? And the legacy of the French Revolution, there are three legacies. First, secular society. What does that mean? It means non-religious ideas were introduced to the government. Number two, nationalism was a legacy, meaning there was a pride in the country of France again. People were proud to wave their new flag, which was blue, white, and red. And the third legacy, democratic ideas, meaning Locke's life, liberty, and property idea. Anyone deserves to have these things just because they're human beings who are living and breathing. We are almost done, world history students. We have one research question to write. So look back over the notes you just wrote. Think of something you want to ask and write that down. It should be the start of a larger conversation. And my conversation with you is over for this lesson. This is Mr. Deegan signing off.